What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see here today, we have the Sonicware LOFI-12 XT on the table, and I really wanted to talk about something that's bugged me a lot with this device since I've got it. Now, first of all, I want to say this device is really fun. It's very easy to learn, and it's surprisingly powerful. I think the looks of this thing are a little bit deceiving. It looks kind of like a toy in a way, but yeah, this is a very capable machine. But one problem which I've had is getting samples onto the SD card that are accessible from the sample pool. That has been a bit of a nightmare for me. So if we look in the manual at the actual requirements of what we need for this device, it says you can import 12 or 24 kilohertz 16-bit mono WAV files, and they can only be up to 40 seconds long in total. So it's a little bit finicky about what it likes and what it doesn't like. It's not like the SP404 Mark II where basically the major sort of file formats are accepted and you can just slap them onto the SD card. You need to do a little bit of prep with this device. So I've tried exporting files from Ableton, I've tried using Audacity, I've tried loads of different little things, and none of them were really working very well. Fortunately, I've managed to find an online website which takes care of absolutely everything, and it's really easy to do. So there is a built-in converter, I believe, but it's very slow from what I've heard. I've not actually tried it myself. And there is also obviously the option of just recording straight into the device as well, which I have done in the past, especially when I'm sampling stuff. But for all the little one-shots and little extras that we like to put on our beats, we want those in the sample pool ready to go. So yeah, this website is really useful, and I'll put a link in the description to it. It's called DigiChain, and the address is digichain.brianbarr.net. So you can go ahead and look at that, and we'll jump onto there now and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so here we are at the website. You can see here I've gone to the domain digichain.brianbarr.net, and what I also want to show you guys is that on my Finder window here, you can see that I'm actually inside the LOFI-12 XT. So I've got my SD card plugged into my computer. You go to System and Pool, Audio, and then I've got a custom folder here for SP vids. So we can see here I've got my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 4 and Volume 5 in this folder. If you want to check out my drum packs, you can head to the links in the description or just go straight to spvids.com. You can buy all those there. So you can see I've got 4 and 5 as I've just mentioned. Let's go ahead and do 3. So up here you can see we've got loads of different options. You don't particularly need that many. We're just going to click in here. And as we said from the manual before, we want 24. You can do 12 as well if you want to, but we're going to do 24 to keep that quality up, because I believe you can change them to 12 once you're on the machine anyway, so you might as well import a 24. So 24 kilohertz, bit depth 16, just like it said in the manual. Mono as well. So basically this website is giving us all the options that we need to be able to convert these files. So we've got that covered in the settings up there, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, so I'm back in my Finder window here. I've gone back to my SPVids drums, and the great thing about this website is that you can dump a whole folder in and it will convert them and maintain the structure as well. Now it is a little bit buggy, but I'll show you that afterwards. So I'm here in SPVids. We need to do Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3. I've already done 4 and 5. So we'll get that and drag it onto the website. And there we go, it's loading the samples in.
A few moments later.
Okay, that's done now. It took a little bit longer on that one than I was expecting, but it does seem to have done it all. Maybe there's just quite a few samples in this one. So there we go, it's loaded in all the samples, all the folders, etc. They're all ready to go. And all I have to do now is click this button at the top. It says here, look, download 140 files. So we'll press download here. And I think this is taking a little bit of time again because it's processing everything. So you can see there's some options over here as well if you wanted to. You can do a space chain or one chain where it just chains all the samples together. That could be useful for something like the PO33 actually. But yeah, here we go. So it started processing them all. This is probably a bad example because the folder is absolutely huge, so it's taken a long time. So it's doing its processing now. I'll come back when the processing is finished and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so it took a little bit of time to process that, to download it. Basically, once it had finished, a little download window came up asking me where I wanted to put it. I put it inside the Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3 folder. So you can see here, we now have a zip folder called digichain_files.zip. So this is going to have everything that was in Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3, but it's going to be processed as 24 kilohertz 16-bit mono. So I'm just going to go ahead and extract this to show you guys. There we go. So that's extracted. We have to do that anyway to put it on the SD card. So DigiChain files, and here we go. We've got Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3 here. Not really sure why it's got that inside it, but let's have a look. Okay, so here's a folder, and let's go to H5 perks. And if we go to get info, we should be able to see. So yeah, we can see here, look, we've got a sample rate of 24 Hertz, we've got bits per sample 16, and it's in mono. So that's all looking good. Now, what you might want to do is just go through and check all the file names. This is that little bug I was talking about. Sometimes it can mess the file names up, so I'm just checking them all here. And here is an example. You can see here, look, it's kind of does this thing, which is a bit weird. So it's done 1_2, but that's actually just file 1. So I'll just go ahead and take that off. Yeah, it's done it again in this folder, you can see as well. It gets a bit confused with the file names sometimes. It might not do it on yours, but with my packs, for some reason, it seems to do that. So I'm just going to clean these up because we want them nice and neat when they're on the device itself. Okay, great. They're all good now. So we can come out of that folder and we'll go to this folder just above it, and we can copy this now. And now I've gone back to the LOFI-12 XT SD card. So this is the drive, the SD card, and I'm going to go into this folder. We're going to go into system again. This is just like we did before. Go into pool, audio, SP vids, and I'm going to paste it into here. We'll just rename that to make it the same format as the others. Okay, so now I've got 3, 4, and 5 in there. Okay, all good. So everything that we needed to do on the computer is done. This website is insanely handy. And like I say, just watch out for that little bug with the file names. If you like keeping things nice and neat, you might need to double check those. But everything that we needed to do on the computer and with the SD card is done now, so we can go back to the machine. Okay guys, so here we are back on the LOFI-12 XT again. You can see it's saying insert card. I've got that here. I've just taken that out of my computer. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Okay, and it's got to load the project again now because it stores the projects on the SD card, I believe. So let's go into the sound area and we need to get to the media pool. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think you click down on this button. Here we go. So you can see at the top of the screen here, hopefully, that I am actually in pool and all my sort of sounds are in there. So I'll go ahead and click browse. And here we go. You can see now I've managed to find the SP vids folder. The browsing's a little bit clunky on this device, but it's not too bad. So let's click in there. So you can see here now that the LOFI 3, 4, and 5 folders are in there. But if we go into these individual folders, you will see that there aren't actually any files in them. So it's recognized the folder, but it can't see the files yet. So what you need to do is a refresh on your library. So we'll go back to tags. And then what we'll do is click this button at the top here, which is dial B. So you click dial B and it says update file database, take a few min. Not very good English, but we know what it means, and we'll say yes. So we'll leave it to do its thing, and then hopefully once this is done, we should be able to see those individual files in the Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3 folder. Okay, so that's done it. So we'll go back to browse, and we'll go back. We were in the right folder already, so we'll click back inside, and you can see now here all those files have appeared, and they're ready for importing it, and they all work. So that is pretty much the whole process of getting files onto this machine, and I would say that is the easiest way, using that website that I've just shown you. It just works, and apart from those tiny little bugs with the file names, you're really not going to have any problems with that. And it just means you can get a lot of files on this SD card very quickly. You don't have to use the built-in converter, which apparently is really, really slow. And then, yeah, you can be making your beats and jump into the sample pool and grab whatever you want. So I hope this one was useful, guys. I really found that quite annoying at first, trying to get files onto this device. It's not like the SP404 Mark II where it's just a piece of cake. So being able to get around that headache with that website was just a huge thing for me, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Don't forget to check out my packs and all the other ways you can support me in the links below. It really is appreciated. But apart from that, guys, keep making beats, and I will see you again in the next video very, very soon.